again, everyone, to the Tennessee National Raceway. Another track talk. We got driver of the 102 limited late model here at the Tennessee National Raceway, sponsored by Dowdy Welding and Fabrication, Express Med, Mashbur's General Merchandise Store, Low-Rail One Stop, and Racehorse Deals. We got driver of that 102, Mr. Dustin Stutts. Welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the Tennessee National Raceway, Dustin.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Man, I'll tell you what, you had that, you and Mark Dowdy, your car owner, y'all had that 88 and that 102 out on the track this year. And at the starting of the year, of course, Mark's done a lot of traveling on us, your car owner. He's kind of traveling around, hit the super late model shows. But you've been around just about each and every week when the car hadn't tore up. So, again, Dustin, it's good to see you out here this evening. Good to see you each and every Saturday night here at the track. Tell us what's going on with the 102 car and the 102 team.
Well, we had a motor go down a couple of weeks ago. Had a pretty good year for us. One feature win. I haven't got the win here. Sat on the front row a few times, but Mark's decided to let me take the wheel of the 88 for a night or two, maybe on into next year. So I'm pretty excited about getting in the killer car. So maybe we'll have a good run tonight.
That 88 got the killer chassis. It's my understanding, speaking with Mark earlier, that yours had a different chassis in it. Yours didn't have the same chassis as his in the limited late model.
Yes, sir. It was a Warrior swing arm car, so it's actually going to be a little different, maybe not a whole lot, so maybe I'll catch on pretty quick and everything will be okay.
Are you excited to jump in that 88 this evening?
Most definitely. I've been waiting all year to get off it, so I'm pretty excited to get in it tonight.
And one reason I'm sure you hadn't been able to just swap from one to the other is because that 88 car's got a few different little mechanisms on it, knowing that Mark Dowdy, being one of our paralyzed drivers on the circuit, he's got all that set up where he can, do everything with the steering wheel.
Right.
You got full control of legs and arms and all that as far as body goes. Now we had to make that change, and I was talking to you a little earlier about that, Dustin, made those changes. You think that thing's gonna be ready for Dustin Stutts?
Oh yeah, it'll be okay. That's a hands out to Mark and the guys that come up with that deal. That's a pretty impressive setup for him to be able to get behind the wheel and be competitive each and every week. And it wasn't a whole lot to get it to my suiting, so we still got the clutch lever for the hand, so that'll be a little different. But other than that, it's got a steering wheel and a brake and gas, and we'll be okay.
They said you don't need a brake no way, right?
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit.
You might have to touch it a time or two.
Yeah, those guys they just tell you that.
Caution flag might come out there. You might have to use it.
Right.
Yeah, I always heard race car didn't need no brake pedal, didn't need no reverse.
Right.
Because you was going to drive left, turn left, and go on.
Yeah.
A little different those limited late models though. You guys slinging into the turn and have to correct it. People, especially the kids and all that's watch the movie Cars, he tells him how to drive it. He says, you gotta turn right to go left.
Right.
And that's one thing, that you guys definitely do in those limited late models. A lot of stiff competition in that limited late model class with TJ Taylor and Mark Dowdy and Will Penny Smith. You got a lot of competition. Tell us what's going on with as far as the competition in that class.
Right. I wouldn't really consider it a slap in the face, but I knew coming into this after I got out of that little open wheel car that it was going to be a big step, because we've done about all we can do in that car. Not that winning gets old or not trying to brag or anything, but we've done real good, won almost 50 features in that car. But this is where you need to be if you're going to be a good competitive driver locally. This is what you got to do it in. And these guys, TJ and AJ Ferguson, you didn't mention him, but a bunch of anybody that shows up in these cars is competitive. So it's a fun deal. Just hope you turn out on top when it's all said and done. So.
Absolutely. Like I say, the competition just overbearing in this limited late. But limited late's something that's catching on, Dustin, more than anything nationwide, simply because of the economics of it. These guys that put all this money in these super late models have to be paid a lot of money on Saturday nights. And a lot of you local dirt tracks just don't have as much, like I say, economics is working on people, making them go back to these limited late models.
Right. They're still super expensive in themselves. I never tell Mark thank you enough for giving me a chance, because if it wouldn't be for Mark, I wouldn't be racing right now. Me and my dad tried it, and it just outdone our pockets of what we could afford. So hats off to Mark. But yeah, the super guys, man, it's unbelievable the amount of money they spend and the amount of money it takes the track owners to put on a show for those guys.
Right.
And me personally, you get just as quality of a race out of the 2 barrels and crate cars as you do a super show. I mean, yeah, they're a little bit faster and you got a little more well-known names following those cars, but give us a chance when we put shows on like that too each and every week. So.
I guarantee you that, and there's been some of these races here at Tennessee National Raceway this year in our limited late model class. Man, I'm telling you what, you guys are going 3 wide out here on the track, and that's one thing about this track here at Tennessee National Raceway. You guys ain't got just one groove. You've got 2, 3 grooves, and I've seen you guys go 4 wide, and I'll be standing up here in the tower going, all right, who's going to cause the wreck? But you guys come out of it straight.
Yeah, it's a pretty good group of talented guys. If there's something there to hang on to, you can pretty much trust for the most part, you can trust to race with a bunch of these guys out here. So it's a pretty racy little place. It's not too bad as long as it don't get too dry. So
just keep it a little bit tacky. That's what you want, right?
Well, I kind of like a dry track. That separates the drivers. Everybody's usually fast on a heavy track.
Right,
so
you're right.
That thing out, it separates the real drivers from the almost real drivers, I guess.
Well, I got to ask you this question. You know, most tracks does the qualifying for the limited late models. Are you in favor of the qualifying, or would you rather have the actual heat race before?
I'm a qualifying kind of guy. I know the fans like to see racing, but it's real hard. I mean, you could easily get in a wreck and ruin your night. And what the fans have got to understand is, you know, that may take you out for 2 to 3 weeks if you can't get the car back together, and that's just going to hurt on your racing. So I prefer the qualifying personally.
Well, and a lot of drivers do. That's the reason I had to ask the question, because I try to ask each and every one of the limited late model guys the same question. And even though you guys didn't have a summer shootout series here at the track this year, that was something that's kind of special, being talked about around the area and around dirt track racing in general, all around, for them to give your smaller classes just a little bit more money to run each week.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because I've not always been in this late model. When I was in my little mini, I was doing everything I could do, winning races every week, and you may not get noticed or feel like you're not getting noticed because you're always the undercard of the event or whatever. But that's a pretty cool deal that Mr. Hibbett's done for these guys out here. So maybe he'll come up with something slick next year too to keep.
Oh, I'm sure he will. The brainstorming that goes on, and I just hear little bits and pieces of it. It's something that's great, something to look forward to, especially into the future. Right. Again, we're with driver of the 102, normally tonight going to be driving that 88D. Owner Mark Dowdy, the 102 being sponsored by Dowdy Welding and Fabrication Expressman, Mashburn's General Merchandise, Loretto One Stop, and Racehorse Deals driver Dustin Stutts here beside me this evening. Dustin, before you go, we definitely want to get one more answer from you. What's your plans for future coming up, 2014 and maybe even beyond?
I really don't know. I hope this with me and Mark lasts a good while. It'd be more of a question you'd ask Mark. So. But definitely, hats off to him. Thank you, Mark, for everything you've done for me. Not to forget my dad, because he was there from the start. Just got me in all this mess. And my uncle.
Still see Tony at the track every week too. I mean, if I see Dustin, there's Tony somewhere close, which is your dad.
And my uncle Keith, he helps me through the week and on the weekends too, turning wrenches on the cars. And my wife, she
got to put up with you.
Yeah,
I've known you for years, brother. You ain't got to tell me anything.
No matter how big a man you think they are, the women always wear the pants. So my wife lets me do this, so I have to thank her also.
Absolutely, got to thank the family, and got a good little family going along. One of the cutest kid I've ever seen. One of the cutest I've ever seen out there. So definitely got the family to thank, and Mark Dowdy to thank. And we want to thank your sponsors once more. Then we're going to get the track sponsors in: Dowdy Welding and Fabrication Expressman, Mashburn's General Merchandise, Loretto One Stop, Racehorse Deals. Of course, tonight you're going to be driving the 88D, which is mainly sponsored by Action Track Chair. That's one of the neatest chairs I ever seen.
Yeah, that's a cool setup. Mark has to beat me out of it sometimes, so that's much fun playing.
I would imagine. Again, driver of the 102, normally being driving the 88D this evening, of Mark Dowdy. He's taking over the Mark Dowdy limited late model machine. Want to thank our sponsors who are able to bring this to you. 412 Market, TNT Auto Body, 10K Auto Repair, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, RockAuto.com, the Commodore Hotel, Advantage Cut and Lawn Care Service, Cherry Photography, and again brought to you each and every week, Track Talk by THR Productions and the Tennessee National Raceway. Thanks again for tuning in. Dustin, I want to thank you for stepping in and doing an interview with us this evening, and wish you the best of luck tonight and the remainder of your racing career.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Again, until next time on Track Talk, Godspeed.